welcome back to another gadget report. Today we are not talking gadgets because I need to talk about something that actually happened to me, and I think it is important, and sometimes our views and our skepticism about things can be a bit setback in everything else. So this is not the reason why I did not record videos in July, but it certainly affected that once, or since it affected my productivity, and it took a lot of my time. I'll be talking about social media and how you should protect yourself in social media platforms. So stick around. What happened to me? Let's talk about it. So this is what happened to me, and the reason why I'm recording this very special edition this week, because I think it is important that I talk about this, and in some way I tell you about my big mistake and my lesson learned. So earlier in July, I got my Facebook account hacked, and the person that actually hacked my Facebook account, which I usually use only for my translation side of the business. As you know, I am a professional translator, and I run a translation business. And also I have started a mentorship program, and I have courses running where I can help my colleagues become translators. So my Facebook account is usually used for that side of my business, for the teaching side of my business, for the translation side of my business. So it was hacked. The person that hacked my Facebook account set his email and mobile phone as a two-factor authentication, and I simply did not have access to my account. I alerted Facebook for that matter. I told them that the account had been hacked. This person was using my profile to sell, or actually pretend to sell, cars on a Facebook marketplace, which obviously wasn't me. I have no car dealership. I do not sell cars online, and I will never do. And I alerted Facebook for all of this, and it was actually time consuming because I was following the prompts. You will find that it's extremely frustrating because you have all those prompts and you have to follow the prompts and tell them that your account had been hacked. Then you put your old password, because obviously the hacker, the first thing that they do is also change the password. You put your password, then Facebook tells you that is a old password, that if you believe that your account has been hacked, you obviously reply yes to that, and then I would see that they would want to send the code to that person's phone. So because I got to a point where I managed to get some notifications from Facebook to my legitimate account, so to my legitimate email account linked to my Facebook account. I replied to that email informing Facebook that my account had been hacked, that the person was trying to sell cars, possibly scamming people online, or most probably scamming people online on my behalf, so under my name, which was very upsetting for me, as you can imagine. And no reply from Facebook. It was absolutely dreadful. It was a month of try every single day. I would be trying my account. I would not be able to get into my account. Eventually I received an email, and I managed to verify that that email was my email, even though I explain to Facebook, and for them it would be very simple to verify that what I was saying is true, because that email had been connected to that account for basically since I opened that account. So it has always been that email account. So there was no reason for them to doubt that the email that I was sending them would be forged or anything like that. However, they would send me the code, one code, to my email inbox for me to verify that I received it and get the process rolling. However, then they still asked me for the two-factor authentication, and that would be linked to the hacker's mobile phone. So this is the debacle that I endure for basically almost a month. I really started to think, well, I'm going to give up on this because they are not going to help me. There's nothing I can do. This person put this phone number. There is really basically nothing I can do. If I can get through Facebook, if I can communicate with them and have some ways of explaining what the situation is, I could have luck. But unfortunately, there's no phone numbers you can call. There's no direct emails. There is no chats where you can have a communication. I looked for all of those and I could not find it. Another problem is my Facebook account was also linked to one of my Instagram accounts that obviously runs all the translation, all the teaching business. And although I still had full control of that Instagram account, both accounts were linked. So it was basically a mess to disconnect that account from my Facebook account and start all over again. So, making a long story short, I thought they are not going to help me, so I need to solve this somehow. I cannot keep inactive because I need things, and I have courses running that I obviously need to advertise and make some marketing. And I decided to open another Facebook account and start rebuilding my Updated Words Facebook page. Once I started, a few days later, I eventually received another email from Facebook again, and I tried to get in, but fortunately this time around, you gave me another prompt where I could actually set that email account and that mobile phone, they were fake, they were wrong, and delete them from my account. And eventually I could put my real mobile phone and the email stayed the same and get my Facebook account back. Obviously, I then deleted the one that I had started after all the work of trying to get all my contacts back and try to recreate the page and everything like that. I managed to get my old account back, and so it was redundant to have two accounts. Now, this highlights a very big mistake on my behalf, and I admit that, and one that I know a lot of people, just like myself, may be doing, which is the two-factor authentication and the fact that sometimes we are quite skeptical, and I know I am, of providing our phone numbers or our contact or any information, any data to Facebook or any other social media platforms. I know I've always been very skeptical about that. I never wanted to provide any information, especially after that scandal where Mr. Zuckerberg sold information of users to another company. I was fairly upset about that, and I decided, and I never did that two-factor authentication. As a matter of fact, I think Facebook and other social media platforms, they in my view, they actually, what they do is, you don't give them the data that they want. They won't protect your account as they should, because honestly, it's quite unbelievable that such a huge platform, it's so vulnerable to be hacked in the way that it is every day. And apart from myself, when I managed to get my account back, I realized that another person on my friends list had been hacked, and in that person's particular case, they even changed the name. It was a funny thing, gibberish kind of thing that they put as a name, and yeah, they were using the account just for the sake of it. So this is kind of a very common occurrence in Facebook. And I think, honestly, something needs to be done. And especially the service that they provide. You actually report. I actually started asking the people that were, because there was a time that I actually managed to enter my account, and I put a post on it saying that my account had been hacked, warning everyone not to accept anything that came from that account, and also warning people that were trying to respond to these car ads that this guy or girl, but I think it was a guy, was posting on this marketplace. I was trying to warn them, please do not make any business with this person. This is all fake. I'm not selling cars. So the people started replying to that post, saying that they almost got in contact with me to buy a car and all of that. And then eventually I told them, no, please report it. Report it. Every single listing that you see on Marketplace under my name, please report it. And obviously they must have done so, and that's what triggered Facebook to send me an email saying that they could not keep my Marketplace account. Well, I never had one in the first place. So when I was aware of this, I tried to re-enter my account, and that's when these new prompts came up where I could actually delete all the details from the hacker and put my details back. And obviously had the two-factor authentication. I believe this is very important. I didn't believe that before. I did not want to provide my phone number to Facebook or any social media platform, but this is the reality. They don't protect your account if you don't do it. So I know it's just a Facebook account, but for example, if you do it for business, just like myself, if it was just a personal account, I wouldn't even matter. I wouldn't even bother doing everything that I've done because I don't really care much about Facebook. The problem is it is linked to my business and I needed it for my business. So I decided to talk about this today because I think a lot of people may be just like myself. They may be very wary of providing details or data to companies, especially social media platforms, because we all know what happens with these social media platforms. We know what happened with Facebook before, and I'm pretty sure it will happen again. And obviously, we just don't want our data. That's why I don't provide a lot of information, but I had to provide my phone number. And that's why I decided to talk about this with you today. It is a mess. You won't believe the heartache it is because it is time consuming. You keep on trying to follow their prompts, but their prompts always make you hit a brick wall. In this particular case was the fact that this person had put his phone number. And even though I had communicated to Facebook and I had told them that that phone number was not mine, that my account had been hacked, they still did not act fast enough to delete that out of my account in time. So they would recognize my email, they would recognize that this was one of my old passwords because it was my password, of course, and I would then click on the prompt saying that that was not me when it showed the person's email and the person's mobile phone, but still Facebook would not take me to a place where I could actually show them, no, this is me. There was one of the times that I managed to get through and put my ID. I had to scan my passport and provide them with my passport, which is also another thing that I was not very happy to do so, but I had to, and still didn't solve the problem. So I did that, I provide them with my identity, and still didn't solve the problem. So this is what I mean. The amount of work, the amount of trouble that you have to go through if something like this happens, it's so time consuming, it's so overwhelmingly bad, that really you just think it's too much. So this is why I decided to bring this to your attention today, and I would recommend everyone to please put your two-factor authentication, because it really makes a difference. It does, because it is something that if someone tries to hack your account, you will be getting a message on your phone with the code that the person should be putting. And if you receive a code and you're not trying to enter on Facebook, you know that someone is trying to hack your account. So this is very important. And that's the reason why I decided to bring this today. Please protect yourself. I know it's a fine line. I know providing data to these companies is not something that we actually like doing. I know I don't. But if you run a business, if you have something that it's really important to you, then I would say it is important that we go this and we provide them just this piece of information. And that's all for today in this gadget report. I know today we did not talk about gadgets. We spoke about another type of gadget, not very pleasant. And I hope you liked it. I hope it really, I hope it really helped you understand that sometimes we are skeptical about things, and that's perfectly understandable. I am. I'm still skeptical. I'm still very reluctant in providing any sort of data online. And only if I really think it's extremely necessary, I'll do it. Which I think in this case was a big mistake of mine, and I admit it. And yeah, and I learned, I paid the price for it. I paid the price for my mistake, and I learned my lesson. So sometimes we need to compromise, because obviously these platforms, they're not there to help you. They're certainly there to collect your data, but they're not there to help you. And you need to understand and protect yourself the best way you can. So what about you? Have you ever had your Facebook or any other social media page or profile hacked? If so, what happened? How did you solve the problem? How did the platform help you? Were they prompting their help? Did they help you? And you are happy with the service they provided, or you are just as appalled as I am with Facebook by the lack of response, lack of help. They didn't even acknowledge my emails. It was pretty bad. So let me know your experience. I think if we share our experiences, we know how often these things happen, and we also know how good or bad is the response from the platforms that actually run all of this and should have a much better protection for their users. But obviously they don't. They want the data to then offer you the protection. If you don't give them the data, they don't protect your account. And that's my perspective of things. I still don't trust Facebook or any other platform, but I believe this was a little compromise that I needed. So, and of course, if you have any suggestion for our gadget report, if there's any news in aviation that you think it would be very good for me to talk about, leave me a suggestion down below. I will be very happy to address it. Before I go, let me tell you, next week we will be talking gadgets for sure. And before I go, I would like to thank you all for watching, and put a like on the video and subscribe the channel with a little click on the bell so you get a notification of a new gadget report every week. Again, before I go, thank you all for watching. See you next week. Let's talk gadgets. Bye.